Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing Taroscopes for the sign of Leo. Yes, Leo the lion, proud, big and proud, for the month of April 2025. Before we get started on that, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Welcome to this wonderful community of like-minded people. And thank you to my tried and true who have been with me on this journey for years. I really appreciate your support over all these years. We've been through a lot together. I know I appreciate you guys, and I know that you appreciate me because you follow me. Thank you. And to my new members of my channel, um, welcome. And I'll talk a little bit more about membership at the end of the video. And of course, to my Patreon folks who see this. Um, Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And there's more to come, more to come. Okay, let us get started. So the first thing I want to do is look at the astrology. Okay, yeah, I think I can start here. Alrighty, let's get to just the astrology for the month. Just go over a couple of things that are happening, just a couple of things to keep in mind as we sort of move through this time. April 2025 is a 13-4 vibration month and year. We get the numbers from the fourth month, number 4. Here we have the 4. This is the Emperor card. Emperor is about agency. It's about having agency, being the captain of your own ship, being in charge of your own life. It's about autonomy, but it's also about responsibility. If you want to do your own thing, you have to learn how to be responsible and how to responsibly wield the power that the emperor has. It sits on this path on the tree of life between Chokmah, wisdom, and Tiphereth, beauty. Tiphereth is associated with the sun, Chokmah with Uranus. So sun, Uranus, sun is illumination, Uranus is awakening. Much more awakenings this month. We had plenty last month and the month before and the month before that. And even the month before that, we're all waking up despite despite the anti-woke agenda. Once you're awake, you're awake. And it's like the 100th monkey. We're all going to wake up all together. And for those of us who've been awake longer, at least we know something. That's why we share that something with you guys. We have the 9 vibration. That's the vibration of the year. 2025 is a 9-year. It's part of a 9-year cycle that began in 2017. So something that started in 2017 is coming to its natural end in 2025. You can decide what that is for yourself. The Hermit is associated with this path on the tree of life that connects Hesed, which deals with it. Hesed is mercy, and it's connected to the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is in Gemini, as you know, and the sun, which spends its time this month in Aries and then into Taurus. This vibration, this path is open all year, and it is connected to the sign of Virgo. So if you have Virgo in your chart, that is significant year. If you were born in the 60s, the late 50s, or the early 70s, you have Pluto likely at the ends there anyway, likely in Virgo, definitely in the 60s. And so this year is important for those Pluto and Virgo, that whole generation of souls who came in to fix what's broken and have had to learn that there's no such thing as perfection. One of the lessons the Pluto and Virgo generation has to learn is to let go and let God. And boy, are we having a lot of lessons around that. And then we have, when we add these 2 vibrations together, the 3rd vibration, which is specific for April, as I said, is the Death card. It's the card of transformation. Okay, it's the 1, 3, and 4. And so we have the death vibration, the end of a cycle. There are 13 moons, lunations in a year. So there's a feminine energy. This particular vibration is associated with the letter M, which is the first letter for things like and Mata and Mara, all the Ma, Mary, right? All the words which are about the feminine, the goddess energy. And then the four being a new foundation built by letting go of the old. So it's a path between the sun and Venus, the sun and Venus. And Venus is active this month. She turns direct. She moves back into Aries at the end of the month. Venus is very, very active yeah, this month and very, very powerful, I think. Although I don't believe, do we see her? Yeah, I think she's actually in the morning sky by April. All right, so those are the numbers. Notice all the paths that are activated on this side of the tree. This is the pillar of the past. This is the pillar of the moment that we're in, and this is the pillar of the future. This is feminine. This is masculine, and this is androgynous. And we see that we have all these paths coming from the past pillar, which means you can access information and wisdom from your previous incarnations, guys. So if you don't know what to do, open that Felix bag of tricks and look in and see what you have and what you know. And a lot of these things you may not even know that you know, but you won't know unless you try. So open up that bag of tricks and see what comes out. All right, we have really exciting thing happening at the beginning of April. We have on April 3rd, which happens to be a Tower Day, we have Saturn sextile Uranus. This is part of a 45-year synodic cycle that began back in the late 80s and is now about, let's see, 360 degrees in a circle, and it's at 300 degrees. So you only have 60 more degrees. So I can't do math in my head. Isn't that awful? The nuns would be like appalled. We're at the end of this, but the sextile that we're experiencing now is one of progressive change. It's Aquarian in nature. It's about raising all boats. This is an amazing time to restructure things in the way that we want to see them, or at least be aware of the opportunities and the possibilities. Okay, so this is an exciting time. April 6th, we have the sun sextile Jupiter. Remember, the sun is here, Jupiter is here. That's activating that 9 path. Very, very powerful. This sextile is also one in which we are bringing forth more progressive ideas. Venus also trines Mars on that day, which is really nice. It's a nice flow, not a good day for relating. This is generally a good day for relating. On the 7th, Mercury goes direct. Woo woo. It's in Pisces, and it will move forward and then move into Aries at the end of the month. On the same day that Mercury stations direct, Venus makes a conjunction to Saturn in Pisces. This will be the first of two that she actually has this month, because she conjoins Saturn, and then she sextiles Uranus, and then she stations direct, and then she conjuncts Saturn and sextiles Uranus. So, or sextiles Uranus and then conjunct Saturn. So she's making this sort of turn in her cycle. She's meeting up with the Lord of Karma and the Lord of Change. And then she turns around and she's the Lord of Change and the Lord of Karma again. So there's this surprising energy, I think, with Venus and the pure power that she has. She's now in a Aries Venus star cycle, which is Aries, a Venus star cycle in Aries as the morning star, which she will become. She was the evening star before. Now she rises as the morning star before the sun is much more willing to fight for what she loves. And so it's a kick-ass Aries, Venus. All right, we have a full moon in Libra that happens on the 12th, on the same day that, and Libra is Venus ruled, by the way, on the same day that Venus stations direct. So that's significant. Full moons are always sort of culminations, ripening of the fruit. What's been growing under the earth comes out. We see what we have planted. That seed was planted in the last new moon, which was an eclipse. This is not an eclipse, but the last new moon was an eclipse, right? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm right. I'm right. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I do these ahead of time, so I have to remember where I am in space time right now. Uh, Mercury ingresses into Aries, ingresses into Aries, um, and then conjoins Neptune at that first degree of Aries. Neptune just moved into Aries for the first time in 151 years on the 30th of March. And this will give us a little hint of what's ahead for us in next February when Saturn and Neptune conjoin at the first degree of Aries. I don't think I'm not sure that's ever happened before at that first degree. It's a world point. It's really powerful. It changes and shifts everything, the whole world. Okay. On the 18th, Mars re-enters Leo. Mars re-enters Leo. This week is going to be very significant, I think, for Volodymyr Zelensky. He has his Mars at the first degree of Leo retrograde in his chart. And so this Mars re-entering Leo will be energizing his Mars. He has a South Node in Aries. So he's somebody who's been a warrior in previous lifetimes, although in this lifetime he was moving in the direction of peace and balance. His North Node and his Pluto are in I'm sorry, Libra. Libra. Okay, so let's see. So on the 19th, the sun ingresses into Taurus, Mars trines Neptune. Nice day. Nice day to go dancing. Oh, you can I don't know, dance around in your garden, do some fertility dance or something. That'll be cool. April 20th, a lot happening. Venus sextile Uranus. Remember it sextiled Uranus at the beginning of the month. Now towards the end of the month, it's doing it again. Mercury is making a sextile to Pluto. That's deep thinking, deep thinking. And then the sun makes a last quarter square to Mars, which is rebellious in its nature. The sun and Mars can be egos and desires at cross purposes with each other. This is a challenging energy. The first two aren't pretty good. The third one here is challenging. And then we have Saturn conjunct the north node of the moon, a real reality check when that happens on the 21st. On the 23rd, the sun makes a first quarter square to Pluto, crisis in action. The sun is our sense of self. It's what we're conscious of. Pluto is the soul. So we're not always conscious. And Pluto is in charge pretty much from the get-go here. So perhaps we take actions that expose a desire we may not even know we had at that point. But we find out pretty quick. On the 24th, Venus conjoins Saturn again, now moving direct. On the 26th, this is important, Mars makes its last of three oppositions to Pluto. The first one happened 3 days before the election, 11/3. The second one happened, I believe it was January 1st or 2nd. And this is the last one. Now, this Mercury retrograde cycle has had three oppositions to the sun. Did I say Mercury? Mars retrograde cycle, three oppositions to the sun. And trying to think. The first one was in Cancer and Capricorn, and the next two were in Leo and Aquarius. So again, there's this energy of going from one way of being to another, going from that Capricorn, Cancer, father knows best, parental, what do I do, mommy energy, to power to the people energy. Okay. And then on the 27th, we have a new moon in Taurus, and the 30th, Venus goes back into Aries, still not out of her shadow, but back into Aries. So let's take a look and see how all of this that I just spoke of may affect you as a Leo. So here we have Leo. You notice most of the energy is up here on the chart. That means a lot of what's going on is going to be very public for you, Leo. You do have Mars finally leaving your 12th house into your first house. That's going to feel better. Mars in your first house, exerting your energy, your self-expression, your creativity, your beingness, your desires, right out there in front. People are going to know what you want because you're going to be willing to tell them. You're very self-expressive, Leo. We have the sun start the month in the ninth house of truth, moving into your house of career on the 19th of April. We also have that new moon starting. That's, of course, at the end of the month, the 27th, but that is going to maybe start something new in your career. So if you're thinking of doing something new, this may be the time to do it. This may be the time to do it. Pluto in Aquarius in the seventh house for the next 19 years. We can talk about that as it goes. And remember, we do have the opposition between Pluto and Mars, with Mars being in your first house and Pluto being in your seventh house. That could be a oppositional relationship. Okay, it could be a power struggle, but it's also a time of natural breaking free, or moving on or growing from that experience. Okay. Let's see. Venus and Mercury both start the month in Pisces, and then move direct and go into Aries. So we have eighth house and then ninth house. So these are houses associated with other people. So there's a lot of interaction with other people. Jupiter's still in your 11th house, expanding your, uh, if you work on the internet or do anything technical like that, that's an expansion. It's in Gemini. It's about speaking. So more people are hearing what you have to say. And if you utilize technology, then a lot of people get to hear what you have to say. Saturn still moving through that eighth house. It will dip into Aries um, a little bit later this year, but then it moves back into Pisces to finish up. Um, Again, Saturn through that eighth house, you do have to watch your taxes with that. All right. Let's see what else. Uranus still in the 10th house, still some surprising things happening in your career. North Node up here in the eighth house, moving in the direction of unity, merging with spirit, and letting go of any critical thoughts you have about yourself. It's time to let them go. Those, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not, no, that out the window with that. Which sounds kind of weird for Leo because you think like, oh, don't Leo love themselves? Yeah, but it's, if you're a Leo that depends on the adulation of other people, that can be a dangerous place because really the light is within you. If you can embody the light within you, you won't care who's following you, but they will be following you because they feel the light of the sun and the light of love within you, and that's what attracts people to you, as opposed to putting on a show and always having to be under their scrutiny to get your love. That's no way to be. That's no way to be for a Leo. All right. All right, cool. I think that was good. I think that's enough for that. Let me get which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this one, the light seers tonight for Leo. The light seers. So let's see what's going on with Leo. Try to be pretty quiet with these. These are little cards. Actually, I ordered these online and I didn't realize it at the time, but these are not like, I think they're like Chinese knockoffs. So I feel kind of bad, but I didn't know. But they work. They're just tiny. And they're such pretty cards. I like to have big, they're a little bit too small to be good to shuffle good. Some cards are too big to shuffle good. Some cards are just right, but I love the pictures. So where are we? Okay, let me see. All right. We start with a star. This is about meditation. This is about finding your guiding star. This would be a good month to get an astrology reading, Leo. This is the card of Aquarius. Pluto's in Aquarius. You have the Pluto opposition to the Sun. No, Pluto opposition to Mars in your sign. So there's an illumination coming. You need to stay connected through meditative practices, stargazing, finding the stillness, and having the universe reflect back to you to give you messages. Ooh, and the messages are coming. The challenge is the message. The challenge is the message. Now, I'll see what that really means because I'm not really sure what that means yet. It could mean that you have a message to give and you're a little resistant, or you could be waiting for the message and you may feel like you haven't gotten it yet. Let's see. We'll see what else comes up. There's your card, Leo, right at the root. You are in your power, the Strength card, not afraid to say what you need to say. So you may be waiting for the message. Maybe the message hasn't come to you yet because you're ready for it. In the past, we have Temperance. It's a lovely Temperance card, don't you think? I'd be temperate. Well, I'd probably be temperate if I saw this guy. But anyway, it's about balance. This is the angel of healing. It's alchemical. So you have been through a trial by fire. You've had to walk the straight and narrow. But in that, you have created a sense of inner strength and focus and vision in the sky. Ooh, you're going to be busy, girl, boys, busy girls and boys. Lots of work, lots of work. It's work that you like, but it is a lot. There is a lot of work for you. So you may have to, well, we'll see what the rest of the cards say. Pace yourself. There's plenty of work for you. All right, we got the Eight of Swords. Okay, so I think you maybe have the message, but um you feel like you can't say it, or you're afraid to say it. Now, I will say that we are at a time in our evolution, at least here in where I live in the United States, where you kind of have to be careful about what you say because the people who don't like what you have to say can be vengeful, if you know what I'm saying, right? Okay, so you do have to be careful. But you don't want fear and you want negative thinking to get in the way. The worst case scenario. You don't want that. You don't want that. I think that with the star card being the first card to come up, and you're very busy this month. It's a challenge to, you're busy, you're doing your thing, you have to meditate, but if you don't meditate, you could find yourself in this place. So you definitely want to balance work with calm contemplation this month. How it seems from at the outside that everything's coming up roses, almost too much, like I think that you've gotten used to like a slow, steady diet because of the temperance energy. You've been very sort of like, well, I'm going to work within my means, or I'm going to do this, or just one step in front of the other, and all of that. And all of a sudden, there's all this like, woo, exuberance and emotions and feelings. And so, um, people see you as giving, loving. Okay. Um, in your domestic situation, have the Ace of Swords. A decision is going to be made. The Ace of Swords. Whoops, sorry. Decision. A decision is going to be made. And that may be what has you tied up a little bit, is deciding. Maybe it's deciding to put your message out. Hopes and fears, loss, sorrow. There's a lot of sadness out there. And we're all processing it, but we need to move forward. And so I think you hope you can do it. I think that's what the hope is. I hope I'm strong enough. I hope I'm strong enough. You're strong enough. This is at the root of your reading. You're definitely strong enough. An outcome? Ooh, Three of Pentacles. I like this. This card has come up a lot in all the readings. This is about working with others who are really good at what they do, working together to make something that people can utilize, that's helpful, that stands the test of time. working with people, doing what you love, and working with people who also do what they love. It's a very powerful card. A lot can happen, a lot can get done. It's like three heads are better than one kind of energy. Let me see if we can get a major arcana. We get the 10 of Cups, which is happiness, and the Empress, which is about fertility and abundance. So I think that there's a certain amount of anxiety this month. Um, but it's anxiety because of what's happening in the outer world. And so what you need to do is you need to spend more time in your inner world, because that is going to give you the calm and the perspective, and then the messages come through and the energy comes through. Let's see what's underneath it all. Happiness, looking at things from a different perspective, and then justice. Justice has come up a couple of times for people. So these are really nice energies to be underneath it. It says happiness comes by looking at things from a different perspective, and in that balances the scale. In that justice comes in and balances the scales. So powerful energies, guys. Powerful energies. A little bit like the negative cards are little cards, if I could say that. And the real meat of it is that this is the time, you're ready. Things are gonna, this is just, you're in the right place at the right time, and things are gonna work out. All right. So one last thing I want to do, I want to pull a animal oracle card. I just have to take these cards up very slowly, otherwise I shut myself off. That's not good. I do these right on top of my computer, which is not a good idea, but it's the way it's set up. Okay. I found the book. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy. I woke up with a stuffy nose this morning. I apologize for that, but it's either that or I'm sniffling. Okay. Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. What does Leo need to? What energy does Leo need to foster? Oh, cow spirit. The miracles are endless. See, I told you everything was going to be all right. 15. 15. That's the devil card in the tarot. But it's also about abundance and love and responsibility and family and humor and avoiding things that keep you from your light. But cow spirit is a different thing. So let's see what cow spirit says. Buffalo. Okay. These are, okay, here we go. Cows are so sweet. I mean, they're really, and they're big and they're scary when they're not, when they don't like you, but they're so awesome. Very Taurian, yeah. The miracles are endless. You are at a beautiful point in your life today, for your needs are being met effortlessly in so many ways. Fully embrace this truth by focusing on all you have right now, including the positive relationships that sustain you, the work you are proud to do, who contribute to the world, and the activities that inspire you and nourish your soul. Cow Spirit nudges you to pay attention because this is the perfect time to focus on the choices, actions, and behaviors that you feed your soul and bring your heart contentment. Now is also the time when you will see many of your projects and commitments that were set in motion in the past begin to yield valuable gifts that will bring you joy and love and sustain you for a long time to come. Stay positive and share your well-being with others. The more you share, the more you will manifest. So be generous. Cow Spirit promises you will never run out of miracles. Cow Spirit. All right, that's story, Morning Glories. Okay, just a little bit about my membership. I have two levels at this time, the Starlets and the Star Seekers. The Star Seekers is a little more expensive. That has a little bit more meat on the bones when it comes to things like astrology and Kabbalah. I dig a little bit deeper, and I do lives on that level. Um, but both levels get a whole lot of information, and usually we'll get things first before anybody else does. So if you're interested in that, there should be a join button below where it says join. Um, thank you so much. I'll see you again next month or in the morning when I go through the garden and we talk about the stars. Take care, everyone. Namaste.